So we're ready to use Storyboard Pro's pitch mode to pitch our board. And to do that, we want to switch over to the pitch mode workspace. Now, pitch mode is designed to take over your whole monitor. So the first thing I wanted to do is to show you these two buttons down here. This one lets you exit full screen mode, so you get your top bar back. And then this one lets you exit pitch mode and go back to whatever workspace you were in before you entered pitch mode. Let's go back to pitch mode. So by default, we've got thumbnails for all our panels along the left, and all the caption fields along the right. But down here at the bottom is where the important stuff is. First of all, down here, this field will display the text from the dialog captions of whatever panel you're on. This is meant to work as a prompt for you as you're pitching, so you don't have to try to read the dialogue from over here. And we can actually close this whole panel and get more room. Over here, you can set it to display another caption field instead if you wanted. And here you can change the colors for the field. This is the text color and this is the background color, in case there's some other combination you find easier to read. And you can also change the font and the size for the field. Now down here we have our play controls. These buttons here are for navigating through the board. These move back and forward one panel at a time. You can also use the A and F keys on your keyboard to do this. And these buttons move one shot at a time. And these move to the start or end of the board. And this scrub bar will let you move through the panels of a particular shot. And in the middle here, this button will play through the whole board automatically. And this one will just play panels that you have selected. Now if we try to play our board as it stands, that's not very helpful because we don't have the duration for our panels timed out yet. So they're all just defaulting to 1 second. But for the sake of demonstration, I'll switch over to the timeline workspace, and I'll try to set a more appropriate duration for each of these. Some of them need to be longer, a lot of them need to be shorter. And I especially want to show you this camera move. Now back in pitch mode, I'll select those panels and play them, and you can see it plays them for the duration that we set. And if we use this button to turn on camera mask mode, you can see how this would give us a good picture of how things are looking. Now when we get to a panel with a camera move, we have some different options for how to handle it. This button is camera mode. When this is off, we get our wide view of the camera move, where we see the whole thing at once. And if we play, we see the camera's position as it moves along the camera path. But if camera mode is on, we see the camera's actual point of view. This is particularly effective with the camera mask on. Then this mysterious little check mark here is autoplay camera moves. If this is on, we can flip through our static panels with the navigation controls, but when it reaches a shot with a camera move, it automatically plays it as if we'd used the play button. So that's useful if you want to demonstrate your camera moves during a pitch, but you also want to be able to flip through your other panels by hand. Then we have the loop button, which will make whatever you're playing loop. And the sound button, which will enable or disable any sounds that you've added to the timeline. But again, that only makes sense if you've already gotten to the animatic phase. If you've just done a first drawing pass, like we have, what makes the most sense is to have autoplay off and camera mode off, and just flip through panels by hand. When you get to a panel with a camera move, you can use these magnification tools and this drag hand to position it just how you want to be displayed for the pitch. So now that that's set, I'm going to go ahead and pitch our demo board, just like we did with the last demo. Remember, this sequence is from the end of our Undefeated script, so make sure you've read that so you know what's going on. Final scene. We fade back to the present in the arena, as Master Renshu finishes his final line. This match is exactly what you need. The referee unfurls his fans and holds them high, addressing the arena. Are you ready? The crowd gives one large clap in approval. He holds the fans out to the fighters. Fighters, are you ready? The fighters stomp in approval and lift their weapons. The ref looks back and forth. Then the fight will commence in 3, 2, 1. Just then, the doors to the chamber burst open. Mushi! A female voice yells. Everyone in the arena turns to look. A woman runs up the hallway towards the ring. Mushi recognizes her. Kwame? She runs up the stairs and throws herself into Mushi's arms. I had to see you now. But what are you doing? What about your uncle? I was wrong. A pursuing security guard just now catches up. Mushi waves him off. I was a fool to think I could live without you. The guard turns to leave, out of breath. Please, quickly. Before it's too late. Run away with me. Andy slumps down, knowing what's coming next. Of course, my flower. Mushi drops his swords, and the two run off towards the door. I forfeit! He yells as they run out of the arena. Everyone is stunned. The ref looks at Andy. Cut to Andy's hand being raised in the air victoriously. Well, ladies and gentlemen, your champion, Andy Monron, of the Silver Hilt School of Swordsmanship. Andy lifts his eyes and spots Master Renshu in the crowd. All he can do is shrug. He has won the honor of representing the Shining Empire of Xi'an at the World Tournament. The crowd is going wild, but Andy is not excited at all. Cut to black. Great. So now that we've looked at how to pitch a board with pitch mode, we're ready to get feedback and make revisions. We're going to stay in pitch mode for a little bit and look at the tools here for leaving comments and corrections. And then we'll look at the tools for tracking the revision process. We'll do that in the next video. I'll see you there.